The medical bay's sterile lights hummed overhead as Dr. Marcus Chen examined the Valorian warrior laid out before him. Commander Ziraeth's violet skin had paled to a sickly lavender, her breathing shallow and labored. The gash across her torso leaked an iridescent fluid that passed for blood among her people. "Hold still," Marcus muttered, his hands moving with practiced precision despite the tremor of exhaustion. 72 hours without sleep would break most humans, but the USS Perseverance had been under siege, and he was the only medic left standing. Ziraeth's crystalline eyes fixed on him with barely concealed contempt. The Valorians had fought alongside humanity for 3 cycles now, but trust remained a fragile thing between their species. Her people were warriors, genetically engineered for combat over millennia. Humans were the galactic equivalent of stubborn weeds that refused to die. "Your primitive instruments," she hissed through gritted teeth as Marcus applied a coagulant. A Valorian healer would have let you bleed out while maintaining proper protocol," Marcus interrupted, not looking up from his work. "Your people's medical facilities are 3 decks away and currently occupied by krill boarding parties. So unless you'd like to shuffle off this mortal coil with your dignity intact, I suggest you shut up and let me work." The commander fell silent. Though whether from shock at his insubordination or simple pain, Marcus couldn't tell. He worked quickly, sealing the primary wound with biofoam, but as his scanner swept across her abdomen, it detected something else. A secondary injury, internal bleeding near what he assumed was a kidney analog. His hand moved instinctively toward the area, pressing gently to assess the damage. Ziraeth's entire body went rigid. Every alarm in the medical bay suddenly shrieked to life. The lights shifted from clinical white to angry red. Marcus jerked back as if burned, his hand still raised, confusion flooding his exhausted mind. "You dare!" Ziraeth's voice was a thunderclap. She surged upward despite her injuries, one hand clamping around Marcus's wrist with enough force to make bones creak. "You would violate—" Whoa. Marcus's free hand shot up in surrender, his medical scanner clattering to the floor. "I was checking for internal bleeding." "Your readings showed that organ is sacred." The warrior's face was inches from his, her breath hot and smelling faintly of copper. "Among my people, to touch another's Kithara without bonding permission is punishable by death." Marcus's mind raced, flipping through every xenobiology briefing he'd ever half-dozed through.
Kithara.
The word meant, oh hell. "The secondary heart," he breathed. "I didn't know, the briefings never mentioned. Why would we share our intimacies with humans?" Ziraeth spat, though her grip loosened slightly. "You who reproduce like bacteria, who touch and grab and invade personal space without thought." The ship shuddered around them. Another impact. The krill were closing in. Marcus met her gaze steadily, ignoring the pain in his wrist. "Look, Commander. I'm sorry. I violated your cultural boundaries, and that's on me. But that secondary organ of yours is hemorrhaging. You've got maybe 20 minutes before you go into shock and die, so you can either execute me for my transgression, or you can let me fix you so we both live long enough to escape this mess." Silence stretched between them, broken only by distant explosions and the wail of alarms. Ziraeth's crystalline eyes searched his face. Whatever she found there made something shift in her expression. "You truly did not know." "I truly did not know," Marcus confirmed. "And I'm guessing your people don't exactly broadcast their anatomy charts, do they?" A bitter smile touched her lips. "We guard our vulnerabilities. It is how we survived the Purge Wars." She released his wrist and settled back onto the table, though tension still coiled through her frame. "A human trait I am learning. You guard your hearts differently." "We wear them on our sleeves, actually," Marcus said, retrieving his scanner. "It's kind of our whole thing. Gets us into trouble more often than not." "Clearly." But there was less venom in her voice now. Marcus pulled up the scan results, his professional focus returning. "I need to stabilize the bleeding, but to do that I need to—" He gestured vaguely. "Touch my Kithara, yes." Ziraeth closed her eyes. "In my culture, this would bind us. A life debt that cannot be severed. In my culture, this is called doing my damn job," Marcus replied, but not unkindly. "Though if it helps, I promise to be appropriately awkward at any future dinner parties we might attend together." That surprised a laugh out of her, a sharp, pained sound. "Humans, you just at death's door. It's either that or cry, and I'm too tired for crying." He positioned his hands carefully. This is going to hurt. A lot. I am Valorian. Pain is... Her words cut off in a strangled gasp as Marcus's hand pressed against the injured organ, his other hand working the medical laser with microscopic precision. He worked in silence, hyper-aware of the sacredness of what he was doing, the unwitting intimacy of it. In the scanner's glow, he could see the Kythera pulsing beneath violet skin, smaller than the primary heart, more delicate. It beat out a rhythm that was somehow both alien and achingly familiar. 5 minutes 10, the bleeding stopped. The organ stabilized. Marcus withdrew his hand slowly, almost reverently. Done, you should be... Ziraeth's hand caught his again, but gently this time. Thank you, Marcus Cheneverth, for the healing. For the honesty. She paused. For seeing me as a person worth saving despite our differences. That's just baseline human decency where I come from, Marcus said, suddenly aware of how close they were. Though apparently it's revolutionary in space. Perhaps that is why your species survives against all odds, Ziraeth said quietly. You treat strangers like family, enemies like friends to be. It is infuriating. It is effective. The ship shuddered again, harder this time. Can you walk? Marcus asked. I am Valorian, she replied, which wasn't really an answer but apparently was all the answer he'd get. Together they moved toward the emergency escape pods. A human doctor and an alien warrior bound by an accidental intimacy neither had planned for. Behind them, the medical bay lights flickered and died. Ahead of them, uncertain survival beckoned. And between them, something new and fragile had been born. The kind of connection that only comes from hands straying where they shouldn't, and hearts meeting in the spaces between.